Mr. President, members and guests, I'm sorry that my physical condition prevents me from attending a Founders Day in person. The history of the 100 Black men began with Bob Magnum, James Dumpton, and Kenneth Clark meeting somewhat discreetly in the late 50s and early 60s to form an organization that would constructively strengthen cooperation among African Americans to find a base from which they could influence concerns that affected the quality of life of Black people and to support the individual Blacks who were receiving unwarranted attacks when they articulated the injustices that the African Americans were experiencing in their daily endeavors. To the members who are present today, young men who probably have no idea of the 50s and 60s, I graduated with a degree in accounting from NYU University School of Finance and Accounts in the top 25% of my class. I could not get a job in an accounting firm. I could not get a job as a bookkeeper. I could not get a job as a teller in a bank. Then later, as a young attorney, it was an honor for me to be associated with men as Judge Herb Evans, James Watson, Livingston Windscates, Harvey Russell, Sinclair Bourne, just to mention a few. Also, which includes Dave Dinkins, who at that time was not famous, who we all know subsequently became mayor. The founders consisted of lawyers, physicians, educators, civic leaders, entrepreneurs, and governmental officials who met and decided that a method was necessary to address issues that affected the quality of life of the Black community throughout the city of New York, other than just protests. They were opportunists spouting ideology and partisan nonsense. The media, as usual, attempted to project who was the Black leadership. The founders decided to bring credibility to Black demands. It was a feeling that a group of African American men that had achieved some modicum of success in society, that oppressed Black men in a unique way, and speak collectively to the establishment, which it could be City Hall, the governor's mansion, corporate boardrooms of big business, to work more effectively for all of the Black community. The belief was a nonpartisan group that had its own funds and some clout could be recognized to articulate the needs and problems of Black community and bring credibility to the issues at hand without partisan or the ideological language. We had from the inception of our forums, governors, mayors, heads of government agencies, chief executive officers of large corporations. The founder, Robert Magnum, was the first leader, and at the time he was called chairman. Cyril Tyson, and second leader, was designated president. I was elected a general counsel secretary during what I always call the reign of Bruce, which was during the term of Bruce Llewellyn, who served for 9 years. I continued to serve in that capacity with his administration through Arthur Barnes, and then after Arthur was William Booth, and then I also served part of the administration of Dr. Roscoe Brown. And of course, I guess we would call it the modern era, you had Luther Gatton, Paul Williams, then Phil Banks, Michael Gardner, and Aldrin Ennis. Each of these men, although in different ways, enhanced the image of the 100 Black men throughout this city and throughout the country. Please remember that the ones that came before were working to get us where we are today. It took more courage then than it does today. You cannot be in the forefront of every issue, but we can keep the attention of the entire community through education. And I hope continually good leadership that we have had before can continue to get us to the goal.